awesome. And going to share my screen with you and take you back to the basics. And what I mean by taking you back to the basics, if you have a copy of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, I'm on page 40, where we are starting with models. And the model that I'm going to focus on is leads, listings, and leverage. And everything starts with leads. So Gary goes on to share that first we think a million. In other words, mindset is 90% of success. And I've got to have a mental image of earning $1 million before I can earn $1 million. If I don't think I can, then I won't. I also have to have a mental image of what that journey looks like. I need to be able to visualize it. Begin with the end in mind. The next step from think a million is earn $1 million. And if you are earning 3% gross commission, then earning $1 million is approximately $33 million in total volume. Now, based on the average price of the home you sell, now you know how many homes you need to sell in order to earn $1 million. If your average price is $1 million, well, that's simple. Go sell 33 homes. The next step is net $1 million. And if I'm following the 30-30-40 model that's in the budget model from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, then I'm going to net approximately 40%, which means I need to earn approximately $2.4 million in order to net $1 million. Now, the next step is to give. In other words, how much money would I need to make in order to give away $1 million? All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to start using the lifeline of a real estate transaction, knowing that the day the deal closes, my commission's $10,000. And everything to the right of this line, as we know, is transaction management. And everything to the left of this line is lead generation. So here's where I want to start. Because if the model says leads, listings, and leverage, what comes first?
Leads.
Yeah, 100%. Until I've created a lead generation model that is going to feed me consistent leads that will lead to the number of deals I want to close, nothing else matters. So knowing that, let's talk about where can I get leads? Well, I'm going to break that conversation down into 3 categories. And those 3 categories are going to be repeat and referral business. That's working my sphere of influence and my past clients, working my relationships for repeat and referral business. The other source of leads is going to be marketing. And then last is prospecting. And in the MREA book, Gary shares that we should be marketing based and prospecting enhanced. And when he came out with the book Shift, he shifted that and said we need to be prospecting based and marketing enhanced. Now, I would tell you that ideally, you're getting approximately 1/3 of your business from each of these buckets. I don't want to be super heavy on any one of them, because if that bucket dries up, I've got no business. So I'm going to focus on all 3, and I want to create opportunity. Now, when I create a lead, that lead will go into this giant area in the center, which is follow-up. And I need to have a consistent and persistent process in order to follow up. In command, that would be smart plans. And one of the questions that I get a lot is a 33 touch ready to go? So let's change the way we look at that. Launch a neighborhood nurture smart plan. Launch it bi-weekly, so they're getting it twice a month. There's 24 touches on market updates for the person's neighborhood who's getting that email from you. And then launch a smart plan for quarterly phone calls, which is going to create 4 phone calls for you once per quarter. There's 28 of your 36 touches. Figure out the other 8. The other 8 can be a combination of personal notes, greeting cards, holiday cards, birthday cards, special events, and it really doesn't matter. Okay, now as I am in lead generation every day, I'm going to switch screens. I am focused on building my pipeline. I am going to work 250 days. I'm making 20 contacts a day, or if I'm in bold, it's 40 contacts every day. And that's going to equal, we'll go with this number, that's going to equal 5,000 conversations in a year. And I am focused on adding new Mets to my database every day. So at the end of the year, I have 250 new Mets in my database. I was talking to Kevin yesterday, and we were talking about working his sphere of influence, and he said, John, I only have a blank number of people in my sphere of influence, and I've already called them. And my solution was, cool, start adding more people to your database. A year from now, you'll have 250 people in your sphere of influence if you add just one person every day. Where do those contacts come from? Where do these new Mets come from? They come from these conversations. Simple enough, right? The other thing that I want you to focus on when you're having these conversations is feed your pipeline. And if you put 2 new opportunities into your pipeline every day, that is 500 new opportunities a year from now. And once you have somebody in your pipeline, you are following up systematically, persistently, consistently, forever, no matter what they say. I'm never going to hire you. Awesome. Talk to you in a week. If I ever list my property, I'm going to list my property with Nancy. Cool. Talk to you in a week. I'm going to sell my home for sale by owner, and I'm never going to list it. Awesome. Talk to you in a week. I am going to reject rejection, and I am just going to continue to follow up, because when you do, you have an opportunity. They could change their mind and hire you. If you stop following up, they're never going to hire you. And one more thing I'm going to say on that, people will never change their mind. What they will do is make a new decision based on new information. So you're following up with someone once a week for 4 weeks, and then once every other week for the next 8 weeks, and then once a month after that, and you're hearing no, 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 and you call on this day. And hey, also John Dietz, following up his promise, just checking in to see how things are going. And all of a sudden, Elsa says, wow, I can't believe you called. I just got news last night that I've been transferred to Cincinnati and I'm moving in 30 days. I've got to get this house sold. Now remember, it was no, 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 and yes. Did she change her mind? Say no. She made a new decision based on new information. All right, I'm going to take you guys off screen share, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to talk to me. Give me 1 second. All right, let's go. Talk. Ahas, questions?
Good morning, John.
Good morning, Michael.
How are you?
I'm always good, sir. How are you?
Excellent.
Good.
So I've seen you draw this model and different pieces of them, and over the last year or so, you've
Mhm.
really been combining them to give
Mhm.
us a full picture.
Yep.
And during this 8, 9, 10, 1,000 weeks we've been in quarantine, um, I've really been intentional about starting to put people into the database and just kind of feed that and just to continue to grow it, right? So
Yeah.
that we can have a bigger pipeline.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful that you continue to hammer your tornado looking pipeline thing,
Yeah.
so that we can continue to realize that this is the way that we build a big business.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
Guys, who goes into that? And Michael, you can answer this. Who goes into that pipeline, as Michael calls it, a tornado? I'm calling Nancy, I'm calling Shirley, I'm calling Jennifer, I'm calling Anna, and I'm having conversations. They're for sell by owners, they're expired listings, they're circle prospecting, they're people in my database. How do you determine someone goes into your pipeline as future opportunity?
Yeah, if they show some type of motivation, even if it's not right now,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm able to have a good conversation with them. I
Mm-hmm.
know in your model you say, add one person to the database. Well, if I'm circle prospecting and I'm speaking to someone who says, like, look, I'm not ready to sell today,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm thinking about in a year or two, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
put them in, I hook them up with a smart plan, and I know we don't have a quote unquote 36 touch yet,
Yeah.
but I've been able to set up a follow-up task in a
Yeah.
couple of weeks just to
Yeah.
check in and say hello.
Yeah.
And then you get reminders through
Yeah.
command.
Yeah. Yeah. So in that scenario, and Michael Trelongo typed into the chat section, everyone, and he's right as far as who goes into your database. Everyone that you talk to goes into your database. I wouldn't dump a neighborhood into my database, even though you could. I wouldn't do that. So everyone I talk to goes into my database. But what I'm specifically referring to is someone who has, like, as Michael Topo said, shown interest in selling their home. And to finish that, I have met with them to have a conversation about potentially selling their home or potentially buying a home. For me, that's who goes into my pipeline. That's a pipeline opportunity versus a lead. A lead is anyone in your database. Here, I'll use Keller Williams talk for a moment. A lead, a lead is anybody that goes into your database. A contact is someone that you've met with. I might have that flip-flopped, and if I do, somebody correct me. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to put everybody into my database, but my pipeline is everyone that I have met with who is potentially going to sell their home. In other words, if Anna is a for sale by owner and she agrees to allow me to come over and look at her home so I could potentially bring her an offer, she's in my pipeline. If Elsa is someone that I call on a circle prospecting call, and Elsa says, I'm thinking of selling my home, but it's probably going to be a year from now. And my response is, that's awesome. I'd love to earn the opportunity to work with you because I'm going to be selling homes a year from now. I'm going to be in your neighborhood next week and love to pop by and introduce myself and just drop off an updated market analysis on your property. Excuse me, guys, can't talk today. An updated market analysis on your property, just kind of to give you an idea of where the market value is today. Would that be okay if I stop by? And when she says yes, now she's in my pipeline. If she says, no, I'm really not interested in meeting with you until a year from now, maybe I'll talk to you then, she's not in my pipeline yet. She's just someone who lives in my database.
Okay, so when that's a good example, thank you. And when I put in then, let's say, all my contacts from my cell phone into the database of command, I have to separate them there as if they're going into my pipeline or not?
No, those are contacts. That's not pipeline. Pipeline is people who have raised their hand and said, I'm thinking of selling
They're
my
interested,
home.
yes.
Yep.
You mean that the pipeline is the opportunity in command?
You got it. You got
opportunity.
it. 100%.
The
Thank you, Elsa.
opportunity in comment is just a way to keep track of what's going on in the near future.
Yes, the people that are
Yes.
interested, that goes into opportunity. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, and then as you're tracking that opportunity in command, it's kind of like watching your phone after you've ordered a pizza from Pizza Hut.
Great. Okay, got it.
Mhm,
Thank you
mhm.
so much, Elsa.
Well,
John, I have a question.
And John.
Marisol, go ahead. Beverly, I'll come right back to you. Go ahead, Marisol.
No, I've been confused about that. Just that part. If I have all the contacts in my phone, can I put them in my database? But they will be just people in the database. And once I get permission from someone of those to follow up or keep them, like sending emails, then I can put it in a smart plan. But I don't need permission from someone just to keep it in my database, because
No.
if they don't want the emails, but I want to keep calling them and I want to keep just track of those people, I can still keep them in my database, right?
It's 100% correct. So I don't know if this is
Yeah.
going to work, but hold on just a second. We'll see if it does.
Can I add something, John?
Please
Because,
do, Elsa. Please do. Yep.
I have implement and taking, the time for now because of that pandemic to take everybody that I have in my phone inside my contact and trying to call all of them, but I put them right away into the smart plan, Marisol. So I don't ask them if they want to be in my smart plan or not, because I assume that they are my friend if they are in my phone. I may ask for a new person that I'm calling out of the blue if they want to have my smart plan, but
Okay.
not if they are in my phone. If they are in your phone, they like you, they know you, and worst case scenario, they don't want to have your email, they will just unsubscribe.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm good with that. I'm 100% good with that. So here's the other way of looking at this. When you enter somebody into your database, you're entering them. Sorry, guys, my pen stopped working, so I'm drawing with my finger, and it looks like I'm in kindergarten. Oh, well, whatever. When you enter somebody in your database, you enter them as a met. That means you've met them, and they're in your database. Now, I would communicate with them using an 8x8. In other words, I'm going to over communicate over 8 weeks in order to create top of mind, so that when they think of real estate, they think of me. And on the 8th conversation, I'm going to ask, if you were to buy a home or sell a home, or if you knew somebody that was going to buy a home or sell a home, would you think of me? And if the answer is yes, then they move from my met data, they move from being a met in my database to now they're part of my sphere of influence. Okay. Now, that's who's on a 36 touch for me. And Elsa's system works beautifully.
Perfect.
Right? Both of those models work. Going back to what is an opportunity. An opportunity, or to me, someone who is in your pipeline is someone who has raised their hand and said, I'm thinking of selling my home, or I'm trying to sell my home by owner, or my listing expired and I potentially might put it back on the market, or a buyer who potentially is going to buy a home in 30 days, 6 months, a year, 2 years. Doesn't matter to me as long as I meet with them.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
And meet means not physically, right, John? Meet means having spoken to them.
It could be, yeah, I prefer face to face, and either a Zoom conversation, Elsa, or a face-to-face in-person conversation versus a phone conversation.
I'm speaking with a lot of, international buyers. So so I understand what you're saying, but they're in my pipeline.
Totally get that. And I agree. 100%. You're good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Good. All right. What else, guys? All right. So I want you to interrupt me, and I'm just going to keep talking otherwise. So every day you have a job, and your one thing is making a minimum of 20 contacts. If you're in bold, it's a minimum of 40 contacts. Focused on getting an appointment, adding somebody to your database, or getting a referral. And until you've completed that one thing, everything else is a distraction. So let's just start with that. If I'm building a successful real estate business, my job, as if you and I were on a boat and we were 3 miles offshore and the boat sank. Michael knows this one as well because I've used this a lot. Our one job would be swim to shore. And in this example, if we don't swim to shore, we're going to die. So it's pretty important. In other words, I've just discovered my big why. My big why is I don't want to die. I want to live so I could be there for my family and take care of them. I'm swimming to shore. I don't know about Michael, but I'm going to get to shore. Now, he's going to swim with me and I hope he makes it, but I'm going to get there. And I'm 100% focused. Now, if Michael says, hey, John, you want to stop and check Facebook out on the way in? Am I going to do that? No. If he says, yeah, I just read an email on my phone. I can't believe what this person is saying. Would you like to read the email? No, I'm swimming to shore. That's my one job. Your one job is 20 contacts, focused on getting an appointment, getting a referral, adding somebody to your database. Now, as you start to get traction, you start to schedule appointments, you start to add people to your database, then you are going to create smart plans to follow up, smart plans to stay in touch. You're going to schedule appointments to meet with people who potentially could hire you. You're going to follow up with them consistently and persistently in order to create emotional proximity. You're going to lead every conversation with gratitude, care, and you're going to bring value to every single conversation. And over time, you're going to start having conversations with people who raise their hand and say, you know what? I just found out I got transferred to Cincinnati and I need to sell my home. What would you do? What could you do to sell my home? All right, talk to me.
Hey, Don, good morning. It's David.
David, good morning.
Hey,
How are
yes,
you?
I love what you said about when you reject rejection, because I'm the same way. And when I have a client, for example, another client I spoke with yesterday, he bought a property last year and now he's thinking about selling it. So if I would have never called him when he's been told me that he's thinking about selling it himself, now he wants to meet within the next couple of weeks. And also, I would like to share something about when I'm calling. You mentioned something, I think it was last week or a couple of weeks ago, that sometimes you forget that we're in the middle of a pandemic and we just want to get right back to work and set the appointments. And with that being said, when I'm prospecting, I've been getting a lot of influx of buyers. A lot of people want to buy. Mm-hmm. Some of the sellers still want to hold off. And with me still having that driver mentality and wanting to schedule the appointment and asking them what else can I do to help, you know, it's a big aha, because sometimes I still forget that we're in the middle of what we're in the middle of, and I just want to do the same activity that we've been doing before.
Yeah, thank you, David. And sometimes we have to slow down to speed up. And I'm a high D, about as high as they come. So that's something that I absolutely have to be reminded of. And that's why I said, lead with care, lead with gratitude, bring value to every conversation. And guys, lead with care simply means when you're talking to people, always start with, how are you doing? How are things going? What are you seeing? How do you feel? And those are not questions from me. Those are right from Gary Keller. So please use those questions.
I think it's even easier now. I always, I guess, struggle to call the people having always the mindset of, I need to get that business. I need to get that business. Mm-hmm. And now with the pandemic, it's just generally, that's how we said in English, generally call. And I like that. And, you know, I asking how they are doing with their business. And then they are reciprocate and asking me how it's going on. And then if they are not yet, for any reason, in my smart plan, which probably almost none of them are, because I never did that in command. I'm just implementing little by little. And that's good.
Love it. So question, do we attract more opportunity when we need business or when we have an abundance mindset?
Abundance mindset.
Abundance.
Yes. 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 Now, here's the thing, guys. How do you create an abundance mindset when you're not sure how you're going to pay your bills next month? You're worried. You're scared. You need business. How do you create an abundance mindset when the reality is, I don't have abundance?
The law of attraction.
Law of attraction.
B2B.
B2B.
Work hard.
You deserve what you have in your imagination.
Yes. Wow, Elsa, I am so proud of you. I really, really am. You absolutely deserve, say it again. You deserve.
You deserve what you have in your imagination.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of the
yeah.
world law.
Yeah. It has to happen here and here. Alan said fear of faith, and that's why I'm pointing at my heart. I'm pointing at my soul. It has to happen here and here. I have to believe in my mind that I am on a journey with a destination that is assured. And I have to have faith in my heart that I have to have faith in what I can't see. If I could see it, it wouldn't take faith. I have to have faith in what I can't see will come true as a reality. Affirmations work too, by the way, guys. Affirmations work. I look like, walk like, talk like, and have the checkbook of a millionaire real estate agent. I look like, walk like, talk like, and have the checkbook of a millionaire real estate agent. Right? Now, for those of you who are thinking, if your immediate blink, because if you were raised like I was raised, your immediate blink is, wait a minute, John, wait a minute, money is evil. Money is evil. And stop. Money is good for the good it can do. For those of you who don't remember, today is Red Day. And if you're a part of the Waxman Group, which most of you are, we are promoting Pandemic of Love. And if you were on our team meeting yesterday, you heard Scott talk and you heard me talk that there is a 3-to-1 ratio, 3-to-1 of people who are asking for help and people who are offering help, which means for every one person who's getting help, and there's been 84,000 matches. I mean, it's huge numbers, over $10 million raised. For every one person who's getting help, there's 2 that are going to bed hungry and worried about how they're going to pay their bills. Now, let me ask you a question. If you netted $1 million last year, how many people could you help right now? How many people would you help right now? Money is good for the good it can do. Go make a boatload of money so you can help more people, guys.
Well said.
Okay, cool. All right, give me a couple ahas, take me out. Let's go make it a great day.
Aha.
All right.
No one's saying in one. I just tuned in the last 3 minutes, but I actually wrote this down because I want to always remember money is good for the good it can do.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I always think, I don't need it. It's okay. You know, no.
Yeah, no. Go make a bunch of it. Go make a boatload of it. Right? Yeah.
So thank you. That was in like 2 minutes of attending your
You
coaching
got it.
this morning. Yeah.
You got it.
Hey,
All
John,
right.
I wanted to share something that I picked up yesterday from the meeting, and I think it makes kind of a lot of sense for where we are right now.
Okay.
I think it may have been Scott who said it in regards to the Spartan way. He who sweats more in practice bleeds less in war.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Said it was Scott. Yeah. Perfect way to take us out too, Michael. Thank you. All right, guys, it's Red Day. Get on the phone, make those care calls, share the Pandemic of Love a Facebook page with 20 people today. That's part of your contact job for the day. And let's make this a success. Let's turn those numbers around so that we have a 3-to-1 people offering help versus people who are asking for help. We can do this. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 8:30. Make it a great day.